That's the Endgame.
All right, welcome to the Comic Wrestling Podcast. I have no idea what number episode this is, but this is the Comic Shop. I'm Ace Williams with
Deadly Dave
and
Markadius.
He is here as a special guest. Oh my God, what a beautiful man he is, Markadius. Thank you for coming on to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yay! Thanks for letting us have you.
Why you gotta make it weird already? We just fucking started.
If you say it's weird, then it's weird. But if no one acknowledges it, it's not.
You're just gonna make it weird no matter what.
I'm gonna drink my blue juice. Markadius, thanks for coming on the show.
Sure, man. Just like to help out.
Cool, Dave. What are we going to talk about today?
We are gonna talk about the Saratoga Comic-Con.
Okay.
And we are gonna talk about Avengers Endgame.
Endgame. That's gonna be the big fat ass meat on this train. Markadius has a little something, being the first ever special guest on our show.
Oh, wow.
First ever special guest. That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
First ever. Whoop-de-doo. Party's over. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
We've reached our peak. We're done.
Right. We have reached the limits of, anywhere we could go. But he's got something he wants, he's going to talk about a little bit. And what's that, Mark?
The New York City Auto Show?
New York City Auto Show. We don't really talk about, we never talked about cars on this show. But we're going to now. Mark's going to drop some cool stuff. He showed me some pictures of the cars. One of them is really sweet. He definitely knew I'd like that.
Yep.
But we're going to start with the Comic-Con. We'll start with Saratoga Comic-Con, then we'll jump right into you. Okay.
Awesome.
Jump right into you. See, you're making it weird again.
He made it weird. He said that. I didn't say that. Watch out. He's going to rear your children. He wants to rear your children.
I do.
What? What? Dave, you went. You were there before me.
Yep. Saturday morning, right
you
when
go
the
ahead.
doors open.
Right, you go ahead. You lead the charge.
I walked right in and went right up to the celebrity table, and I met Tyler Mane first, who was incredibly nice. He was big as fuck. I looked like a hobbit next to him.
Well, you look like a hobbit next to almost anybody.
Well, not next to the second guy that I
set
met,
that up, yeah.
Who is Martin Kleba, the midget. If you can say midget now. Fuck it, I'm saying midget.
Midget. Say
midget
it, Markadius.
Midget?
Yes.
The midget from Pirates of the Caribbean, which was really cool. He was next to me, and they asked me if my picture was okay. He said, as long as that doesn't look like I'm jerking him off, the picture's okay, which I thought was pretty fucking funny.
And I make it weird. Oh, mother. I make it weird.
I walked around the con for a few hours and pretty much saw everything. Yeah. They had different stuff this year, which was nice. They had different vendors, and it was nice. It was actually pretty cool, and getting to meet Tyler Mane was actually really cool because I remember him from wrestling and from X-Men. So
yeah, that was a really cool thing. The biggest reason I went was to meet him. Like, I brought my daughter. My mom went. She wanted to go because she was like, "What's this con shit all about?"
Nope.
I said, "Let's go, Ma. I'll show you." She did not like it. She was not impressed. She was overwhelmed. I told her to get over it.
Even though it wasn't as packed as it was last year, like
no, it wasn't.
Tables and all that.
We were only there about an hour and a half. We were not there long.
Was it Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday. Oh, we'll have to talk about what. Oh, that would be in the wrestling ring.
Okay.
We got something later.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was only there for like an hour and a half. We kind of saw everything real quick. We met Tyler Mane. Awesome. Like it was like 6'8". He was really, really, really tall. He was huge. Gentle giant.
Damn.
Very, very soft-spoken, soft, gentle guy.
He was incredibly gracious.
Yeah, he really was. He signed my Halloween poster that I had Dave order me, which he thought was pretty cool, which I thought was pretty cool. I did not meet the midget because, I'll be honest, I told you this story why I didn't want to meet the midget, right? Because of Gemma?
Gemma, yeah.
Yep. I was afraid of my daughter meeting or walking by a midget. Absolutely, I'm going to say this. I was afraid of her walking by a midget and saying, little boy.
Yeah.
And then me being
embarrassed as fuck, yeah.
Yep. I don't know if that's an everyday adult parent ordeal, but yes, I was self-conscious about my kid calling out a midget and me not knowing how to handle it.
And he would probably play it off and make a joke about it, but
sure, Sure.
Me though, I would fucking cry. I'd be like,
oh yeah.
CPS is coming. CPS is coming. They're taking my kid. You know, what else I did do at the con was we met Tony Atlas. Mr. USA, the wrestler, was there. Gemma, my daughter, met him, which was cool.
And the picture is really funny because
it is, because she looks like get the hell away from me. That's how she's with all of the wrestlers she's met so far, which has only been 3, which was Jimmy Hart, Tatanka, and now Tony Atlas, which he was really cool. I want to just kind of say a personal story. Dave and I met him twice. The first time we met him, we were standing in line, and I heard him say, "My mama told me, if you can't laugh at yourself, don't you dare laugh at nobody else."
I remember that.
I knew I'd get it right this time. I fucked it up last time I tried saying this story.
He tried saying it for like a minute.
And I was like, blah, 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 blah. So
better.
he said that, and we were standing right in line behind him. Now, it wasn't to us, but I got up in line, and he thought I was hitting on him. Like, he thought I was flirting with him. Not literally, that is just his personality. I was lucky enough to have the wherewithal to hear him before him say that, or before I met him to say that, and just put it together of like, okay, this guy's coming at me with a joke. Roll with it, dude. Roll with it.
Yeah.
So I flirted back, like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize you were married. Like, that kind of joking. 5 years later, I don't know. We meet him in Whitehall again, Dave and I. And I walk right up to him, and again, same thing. I don't know if he remembered me on the spot, but it was like he did. Because he picked it right back up, like he thought I was flirting with him again and shit. So I was like, this guy's just the coolest. Like, he's the coolest. So now to get to meet my daughter with him was amazing, because he asked if I've ever met him before. And I was like, yes, I have. Now my, a second generation kid is getting to meet you, which is awesome. He goes, well, was I nice? Was I friendly? And I go, oh yeah, you thought I was like flirting with you and you were hitting on me and stuff. And he goes, oh, ho, 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 ho.
His laugh is tremendous.
It's so funny. And it's real. It was a real laugh, by the way. So he goes, I do that with so many people. That is so fucking funny. Like, he literally dropped the F-bomb right there. And it was just like, this is amazing. Like, this is why I like being a wrestling fan. We'll talk about this in the wrestling ring again probably a little bit. But that was part of the con.
And he was the only one. They went through the line of celebrities and asked him for like a comment about the con. He cut like a 60-second promo. It was great. He was the only one that had any energy out of the celebrities when they had him on the microphone.
It was cool to meet him. He's a funny dude.
Was this at a panel?
No, it was just they went right down the tables.
Yeah, you know how there's
they
like
have the live
DJ
mic and shit.
And he's like, and later today at 1 o'clock over there we got the table.
He's like, oh no Endgame spoilers.
No,
Now everybody has seen it.
The whole time I was there, the guy's like, seriously guys, stop posting on the fucking website Endgame spoilers.
Magneto was in it. I didn't believe it, and I'm just like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, come on.
He was playing that hard.
Yep.
That was pretty much the con. Dave, did you buy anything at the con?
I bought a couple Lego minifigures and a graphic novel that I have yet to read.
Oh, the one that guy like kind of backwalked into?
Yeah, it's like a guy that likes the superhero life, but he has no real powers, but he gets sucked into it anyways.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kick-Ass. No? Was it not? No?
Wasn't Kick-Ass, but
sorry. Thought it was Kick-Ass. Sorry. I bought an Ant-Man, like, die-cast, what is it, metal?
Yep.
Metal, like, figure.
Yep.
For $5 from, I'm gonna give another celebrity shout out, Brian from Ghost Hunters.
No way. He was there again?
Was it Brian? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Brian. It was Brian, because I'm thinking it's Steve, then there's Tango, there's Grant.
Taps? Was
yes.
that one?
The one. Brian, the guy that runs away? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he was there.
I told him, I go, yeah, Brian, you were on Ghost Hunters, man. It's cool, man. I was a big fan of the show. He's like, oh, thanks, bro.
I don't think he hears
He's
that
totally like
much.
Vince Russo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dropping the bro everywhere.
Dude, thanks, bro. I was a Ghost Hunters, bro. I ran away, bro. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Like he just came off of Jersey Shore.
Dude.
Oh, no.
Oh, that was so fucking funny, the video. If you ever watch Ghost Hunters, look up Brian running away from a ghost. He literally, there's a video of him in a prison running down a corridor. And just out the building. Out the building.
Wow.
And this is supposed to be legit.
Yeah, like professionals.
He gets fired because of it.
Okay.
He got fired like 3 times. Sorry, Brian, if you're hearing the podcast.
Sorry,
but thanks for the Ant-Man figure. It was only $5. That's cool.
Oh, also I bought an original Bebop and Rocksteady figures,
did.
loose figures, and I made sure to check the date on them so I knew they were originals too.
Damn.
He's reaching through some of his shit to find something.
That's not what I wanted to find. Neither are they. I thought I had my Bebop and Rocksteady on hand.
This is where I end up editing things because this kind of
Don't
stuff
edit
happens.
this. This is...
There we go.
Now, what would it say under the the year it was made?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that.
It's like right on the ass of it. It says like 1998.
Like this is the original Foot Clan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I have one of those too.
I'm so afraid of bending him.
Oh,
1988.
Yeah. Great, man.
This is not an original Shredder or original Michelangelo. Those are from the new anime. Well, they were new when it was on, but not anymore. I did not buy any Ninja Turtle stuff. If I did, I don't remember, so it wasn't worth remembering it. I bought a couple minifigures myself. I bought Gemma a dinosaur. It's somewhere. Oh, it's hiding over there with the aliens from Avengers.
Is it blue?
No, he's green.
Is the dinosaur the character blue from the movie?
I don't think you'd call a green dinosaur blue. I think the dinosaur in Jurassic Park is blue. That's why its name is Blue.
Oh. Okay.
That's like calling Pikachu Red. Hey, Red! Come here, you. Why's your name Red? You just got a personality, kid, of red. I don't know, Markadius. I don't remember what else I bought. Went to the comic shop right around the corner.
Yeah.
I bought a $10 Spider-Man comic.
Nice.
Which I'm pretty happy with. It's the Red Goblin, which is new. It's the Green Goblin taken over by Carnage.
Oh, that's fucking sick.
You have no idea. In the very beginning of it, well, this isn't the beginning. This is the conclusion of it. I need to get the beginning of it now. But again, in the beginning of the conclusion, it's got Anti-Venom, which is the White Venom,
Yep.
which is Flash Thompson, or Eddie Brock. I think that one might be Eddie Brock. And then there is Venom in it. So you got two Venoms fighting this Red Carnage Goblin with a team of Spider-Men. Like the Spider-Verse movie, basically all of them plus like 3 more are all fighting this Red Goblin.
That's cool.
It's really badass. I can't wait to like get through the whole thing. Like I want to buy
pages.
It's 80 pages. The conclusion is 80 pages. That's why I was like, for $10, I can't do math, so I don't know what the fuck the cent is per page. But sure, $10, that's an even number, no tax, you got it. That's how I do
my
math.
money.
Right. Oh, this is $1,000? You're not going to ask for tax? Here's $1,000.
Scott Steiner math right there.
Dude, there's a 33.3D chance. I don't know what he said. I can't remember. Mark, tell us about the car show.
The car show?
Yep.
Okay. They have it every year in the springtime.
Yeah.
I go every year with my buddy Andy, and it's huge. It's the biggest car show, I think, in the Northeast, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like 4 levels. Like the bottom level is sometimes is a dub show.
Yeah.
Like tricked out, customized. They're like the customized ones.
Right.
And then there's a whole level that's trucks, like Chevy.
So is that where like the
Dodge.
Jeeps and shit would be?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've seen the pictures you showed me over the years
that's
too.
where the
'cause
Jeeps are.
You showed me almost like every year I've known you now. You've shown me all the pictures you've come back from. So I have an idea of what you're talking about.
Yep.
So.
There's other parts of the floor, like people bring in their car. They found like 40 Corvettes that were abandoned in a garage.
Oh, wow, really?
And they're giving them away. Like you have to go online and do something, but yeah, like
that's cool.
From like 1950 to like 2000.
Did they show like conditions?
It was like they had them like for a movie set, and then some guy just left them there.
Wow.
Like all extras probably for like stunts and shit.
That's crazy.
So they're gonna fix them up and give them away.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What about the I'm not gonna even pretend to know Silkway.
Silkway?
You know what I'm trying to say? What car is it? What the special anniversary one they had?
Oh, the Skyline?
Skyline, there we go.
Yeah,
I knew it was something like that.
The 50th
yeah,
anniversary
that was a sweet car.
Skyline. Oh my god.
What was the million? Was that the $1 million?
1.5 or 2 million?
Yeah. That car was really sweet looking. You showed me
I can't
pictures.
imagine
It was
paying
badass.
that kind of money on.
Dude, I can't
gosh.
imagine being in a building worth that kind of money just sitting there.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Imagine if that wasn't real, the cars, none of that, if that was the actual fucking money sitting in that room with you right then and there.
Oh, yeah.
You would be Scrooge McDuck in that vault of coins.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about. Like, that, just a single car, $1.5 million.
It's like the Tower of Money in the Dark Knight that he burns, you know?
Oh,
exactly.
yeah, totally.
Exactly. I couldn't imagine. When I'm around $10 again, but in $1 bill increments, holy shit. I could buy a stripper and do whatever I wanted with her. I feel like that anyways.
$1 million?
No, $10.
Oh, $10.
10 $1 bills. When it's played out like that, it feels like a lot of money. I can make it rain on some lucky girl's day.
Yep.
But I don't even have that shit.
I love the show. If you go, if it's your first time or your 7th time, just it's amazing. It's a lot of walking though, so wear good shoes and holy cow, that place is huge.
What about like some of the other cars you saw?
The Toy Story car.
The Toy Story car.
That was the
what
bomb.
car was it? What was it?
I want to say it was like not a Mitsubishi, maybe like a Mazda RX-7.
It definitely had a Mazda look. The front, the way it
Yeah, or it was like some kind of a coupe. So and it looked like RC.
It looked like the RC car.
That's cool.
He's got a picture of it.
Yeah.
He show you. It's literally this sweet ass car, lime green with like the water. I don't know if it's watermarks on the RC car or not. The blue on the side.
Oh, it's like decals.
It looks it's decals, but it kind of looks like water.
See, to me, I like when people do that kind of shit.
Oh, you have no idea.
Than spending the money on a $1.1 million car.
Just to let it sit there, like, oh, that's a gorgeous car, but I've looked at it enough.
Right.
The Toy Story one is sweet.
That's fucking awesome. That's really cool.
And how it's got Buzz and Woody hanging off the end of it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I didn't know what it was on top, but it's a Funko of Woody on RC, and I was like, oh, no shit.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that was like my favorite car.
Yeah, when he showed me these pictures, he's like, there's one on there you're going to really love.
I like when people put that kind of thought into this stuff like that.
The animated one was cool, the Japanese anime, but I don't know it.
Like Reach for the Sky is on it.
That's really cool. I love that.
That is sweet. Every time, what do I ask you every time you come back? Was so-and-so there?
Oh, Optimus Prime.
Every time. Yeah. Every time he comes back, every year I go, do you see Optimus Prime? Was he there? He's like, no.
I was like, they can't afford him.
He goes, keep going though. You'll see what was. And I go, Megatron? He goes, no. I'm like, oh. Yeah, that's the toy. If I was a millionaire, I'd buy a fucking rig and make it look like the Megatron.
Oh yeah.
When it's as the rig.
Okay.
That blue with the flame up it, that big chrome fucking grill across the front. Just maybe not a monster like a truck like that, but
all
another.
I can think of is in the movie.
Bumblebee. There you go.
Okay.
Someone do a Charger.
Yeah.
Or whatever that looks, or was he a Camaro?
Camaro.
Do a Camaro that looks like Bumblebee.
Yeah.
That has the black. Probably people have.
I'm surprised that there wasn't any there.
That's what I'm saying though. Like,
dude, that's Bumblebee.
Yeah.
No.
That's what I mean. Like, that's why I asked. You see Megatron? Because Autobots.
He was like a tank.
Who?
Yeah, Optimus Prime was the rig.
Or I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I normally do say Optimus.
18-wheeler.
I do normally say Optimus.
Yeah, that's
I just said Megatron.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Megatron to me is a dinosaur, by the way.
No,
Megatron is a T-Rex. Get it right. You know what I'm talking about. Beast Wars.
Yeah.
Is that pretty much it with the car show you want to talk about? Did you see any honeys?
There was a few honeys,
Yeah, I saw when I zoomed in on that one picture, I saw a honey.
Yeah,
New York City, there's got to be some honeys, yeah.
Fun fact about John that was shared.
Oh my!
I don't know who that is. I have no idea who that name was, I said. But fun fact, Dave shared about Ace. I peed in a Gatorade bottle on
I saw that comment.
one of the bridges in New York City, and then I left it there. But I met Sabu.
But the ride down was fun when he had to piss so bad.
Oh my god, it hurt so bad. I was in the front seat. I had to dump my Gatorade out, crawl in the back seat. Steven had to crawl from the back seat to the front seat. And then I had to sit there.
And we were in stop and go traffic. Like, we were not moving at all.
I was sitting there cockeyed. Like,
he was like on the floorboard.
Couldn't you have peed off the Washington Bridge?
What?
No?
That's public indecency. I would rather pee in a bottle and get fined for littering.
And we were right near where like there was a police.
Dude, there were hundreds of people on that bridge.
Yeah.
We got stopped in traffic for an hour. It was Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, we didn't think about the traffic when we were.
We missed one of the wrestlers because that's what we went to do. We missed one of the wrestlers that was going to be there because he waited as long as he could.
We got there only like 20 minutes after he left too, which sucks.
Well, I had to pee so bad. I filled that Gatorade bottle, bud. You would have been proud, Markadius. You would have been like,
it was
bud.
a wide mouth.
No. No. It hurt.
And then he left it on the sidewalk.
By a tree.
Yeah.
By a tree. In Queens.
I'm sure that's not the worst thing that's been on the sidewalk in Queens.
No, I've been on the sidewalk in Queens. There you go. I am the worst thing you possibly could have. I'm not from New York City, but I'm the worst thing that you could have in that city, probably. I'm a degenerate. I'm not.
It's better than us being in Massachusetts, though. That's a story for another time, though.
Boom! I hated being in Massachusetts. So now that we're done with the Comic-Con and
the
show, we've all seen it. This will be our spoiler review.
I will make sure and put spoilers on the description, on the title, just so
Iron Man dies!
Oh, jeez.
Coming in hot.
Oh!
Yeah.
I waited for you to at least get... I will put a spoiler warning, and then I'm like, no, going. Fuck it. You said enough.
Oh, man. Well, the Russo brothers posted, you can spoil it tomorrow. You can post about it.
Oh, are they the fucking owners of
They
what
are
I
the
can
owners.
do shit, Bob? Bob, we're about to have civil war up in this house. This is not the place to tell me. Iron Man dies. He dies at the end.
Yep.
We're not going to talk about that first.
And I thought a lot more than him would die too. And
Speaking of dying,
Yeah.
let's start the movie off with the most fucked up beginning to a superhero movie I've ever seen in my life. If you've missed these movies, I'm going to say it right now. If you've missed these movies in chronological order, from Iron Man 1 to right now, to this Endgame, you will not experience what these movies have been.
you'll have no fucking clue.
Not so much a clue. Because you could see, if you saw if you saw maybe only the Avenger movies. If you saw Age of Ultron, then you would know Hawkeye has a family. But if you only ever saw Endgame again, you wouldn't know the in-between.
Right.
You wouldn't know the Civil War. You wouldn't know, was he in Infinity War? What the hell happened? What was there?
Yeah, you're not going to get a lot of.
You're not going to get the emotional.
Or the references.
Right, but you're not going to get the emotional feel that they have been building for you to get.
True.
And I'm not saying you had to be there in 2008 to start it. You could have started it as soon as you heard Endgame was coming out. You could have started all these movies a year ago.
Could have binge-watched it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck how you did it. But if you only have watched 2 or 3 of these movies and you only went to see this movie because it was the thing to do and it was a big movie,
That's sad.
it is in a way, because you're not experiencing what that movie truly is other than just being a movie.
Right.
I kept thinking, these Avenger movies have been what the original Star Wars movies were to people in the 70s and 80s. That changed the way people lived their lives.
It really is a universe. It really is.
It let you become a nerd and be proud of that. In the 80s, when you see movies and shit, the nerds are the ones being made fun of.
Yep.
Revenge of the Nerds is the only fucking movie from the 80s that made the nerd a hero.
And now being nerd is a badge of honor.
Exactly.
Yep,
and those movies are letting that become a thing, which to me is amazing because I'm a nerd. I grew up loving Spider-Man and all these comic books and this stupid shit.
That's why there's a Comic-Con every weekend, no matter where you are in the country.
Exactly. There's going to be a Comic-Con here at my house. I'm going to have special guest me and Dave.
You're going to be selling Funkos and Legos.
Not mine, though. Don't fucking even think my shit's for sale. I'll fuck you up. You come to my house asking for anything for sale, you'll be leaving with nothing. So Endgame was huge. 22 movies chronicling this epic 11-year saga. And it starts off with Hawkeye's family dying right in front of him.
And that's where I figured it would start, too.
I honestly didn't think that's how you open the movie.
I thought that's where... I figured that's the way they were going.
My thought was you're going to open the movie and show the devastation. You're just going to show the empty fields or whatever. Empty city. You're going to show the heroes, the scene, Cap shaving. Moments of a montage almost, with maybe the music playing, and then as it gets into the dialogue of it, it would open up into that scene. Because I did think that was coming, but not as soon as it opens, you see that fucking arrow hit the tree. And my first gut, and I was sitting next to my buddy James, we were just I heard him say it. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. Come on. And that's why I said the thing in the beginning about if you haven't followed these movies, that was my emotion was holy fuck, you're going to show me his kids die right now and I have to live that with him? Fuck that. So people that didn't know what was coming were probably feeling the same thing once it happened, but not knowing it was coming.
And they didn't really show them turning into dust. You saw a little bit of it.
When she went...
But you had no idea. If you didn't know, you had no fucking clue where his kids and his wife went. No fucking clue.
Right. Which probably was cool in a different way.
Yep.
But me being an emotional man towards certain elements like this whole movie, I just got choked up right there. I'm thinking about it.
I cried during some of it. I literally cried during some of it.
I told you this last night. None of these movies up to this point, other than Ant-Man and Hawkman.
Man, yeah.
Haters, come at me. I fucked up.
Is that like Duckman?
No, Hawkman is fucking DC.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get shit on if any fucking nerds listen. Wow. Oh man, he said Hawkman. Fuck. I meant to say if Ant-Man and Oliver Queen. Oh fuck,
God.
dude. Oh shit.
DC fanboy.
Merlin.
Merlin.
Malcolm Merlin. No, if Hawkeye and Ant-Man, they were the only characters up to this point that had families.
Yeah.
Pepper was there. I mean, she's family like that.
Yeah.
But legitimate, I had a wife, I had a kid. I never was attached to that, really, until this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Because the beginning, Ant-Man going through his emotional struggle, like realizing, holy shit, where the fuck have I been? Everybody's dead. All I want to see is my daughter.
And then seeing her older.
5 years later, it's like, holy shit. And that's going to go into the age thing again.
Crazy.
Think of that. She aged like that. That plays right into what you said about Ned and them. Why doesn't Ned look aged?
Yeah, totally.
Ant-Man's daughter aged dramatically.
Yeah.
I guess why
Ned
and Spidey should be, those kids should be graduated now. If it's been a 5-year time jump.
I hate time jumps.
That's a good point, because you did bring that up last night. You said that, or you said someone said it.
Yep.
But Iron Man has a daughter in this movie, which I never thought that would. I didn't. You know what I mean? Like,
because you hear like her say.
It's so different because you see him. His story arc is so different, and when a spoiler alert again, when he dies, and he's saying, I can't say it because I'll cry. But when he says this to his daughter, like, it's like through the hologram, it's like, oh man. This is a whole different level of, like, he's gone. This is so sad. And that shit was.
And I like how they lightened it up a little bit, though, with the interaction with Favreau and Stark's daughter.
I didn't even laugh during that.
I didn't laugh, but I think it was, a good way to lighten it up. Yeah.
But I couldn't do that. Because the whole time, all I kept thinking was, personally, my selfishness of, where was I during all these movies? Because that montage, they show you all the families from all the movies. And then when they showed you Happy with her, I'm thinking, Jon Favreau, you started this. Like I told you last night. He directed the first 2 Iron Man movies. And it's like, he's the guy that put the cheeseburger scene in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like, I couldn't stop thinking of literally the sentimental, emotional weight there was. It really got to me.
And with it being so much of a universe and so much for you to remember, for all that to come flooding at once, it's crazy. You
laid the proverbial fucking hammer down last night.
What?
When you told me about Harley. The kid.
Yeah. I did not know who that was.
I did not either. Remember when they're panning and they show that one kid standing there by himself?
Yep.
I had no idea who it was. I did say to James, I go, watch that be the kid from Iron Man 3. He looked it up, and it is.
It is.
That's like,
I did. He was the only one. I'm like,
awesome. Like, that's so fucking awesome.
I never made that connection whatsoever.
I thought it.
You wouldn't.
But it flittered away. It was gone. It was like...
No, that was one thing I was going to ask you. I was going to be like, who the fuck was that? Like, I just didn't... It did not connect whatsoever.
Yep. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
That's like... maybe there's something more to come there with him.
Yeah, maybe.
Which again, we're talking about Iron Man right now, so I'm gonna stay on him. That end credit scene.
Oh yeah.
The tink tink, multiple ideas here. Like, you think it's a tribute to Iron Man. I thought it was. The more I thought about it, the more I am convinced that's his daughter.
Yeah, because he said she spends a lot of time in the garage.
And think if Harley's, if for any reason, if they brought that kid back for any reason to maybe help progress a future storyline, because think, Tony left him with a fucking $1 million garage with all those tools and shit. That kid has obviously put his mind to work and become a man.
Yep.
Yeah.
So who's to say he might not be the next Iron Man, or he might not be the next Alfred too?
And if they're gonna do TV shows on their, their streaming service,
there's so many it's a cool way to leave options. And like I said, the more I think about it, the more I think his daughter is the one hammering that. And what a poetic way to send that off, because it's like passing the torch.
Yeah.
Because, like I told you, she definitely showed the interest in it when she had Mommy's helmet.
Yep.
So, I mean, but then that goes into me saying, fuck, every fucking next Avenger is going to be a girl. And I don't hate on women and shit like this, but I did. I told you that last night, that, all their kids are essentially girls.
Yeah.
It's like, if they're the young Avengers, if they're going to be the next crop...
Someone's got to have a boy.
Right. I know Bishop is Hawkeye's daughter. They call her Bishop.
Oh.
In the comics, I think, something like that. Kate Bishop.
Yep.
Right? That's her name, right?
I think so.
Yeah. There's Ironheart, and then there's Rescue. I don't know who is who. I know Pepper's one. I don't know who's the other. I know there's 2 of them.
She might be the new one, the black girl.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
Yeah.
And then, who else had a daughter? Ant-Man had a daughter. Thor's fat.
I thought that was a great touch in it. I thought
The
it was.
only problem I had with it is I wish by the end of it
He had gotten big
and
again.
and when I
I
told
think
you,
everyone was waiting for that
well,
moment.
I told you the perfect way to do it was when he met his mother.
Yeah.
Because she's a witch, and she could have said something funny because it was a very whimsical, upbeat moment of her putting him in a good place in his life, and she could have been like, "Oh, now my son, look at you. You can't go anywhere looking like this," and then like do some kind of bippity bop. Have him look normal again.
Yeah.
Leave the long hair and long beard because that was sick.
Oh, that was
he looked
so
like a badass.
Yeah, with the
Viking.
dreadlocks and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but he seriously when Tony called him, "Come on, Lebowski."
Yep.
I'm like, wow.
I thought Rocket being the strong one for him was actually pretty cool too.
that is great. I love that.
I thought that dynamic of him and Rocket was actually
it
pretty
makes
cool.
me feel like the Yondu and Rocket connection. Both outlaws in a way of we're lost, but when we have, and we talked about this too, but when we have a group of people, we know what to do with them. But when we are alone and we don't know what to do, we don't know how to lead ourselves. And that's how Rocket was by himself.
Yeah.
That's why he has group. Yondu's like that by himself. That's why he got captive. That's why they turned on him. But when he was with the Guardians, he was a Guardian.
Awesome.
Yep.
And then him and Rocket had a bond.
Yep.
Thor, you said this last night. When Thor's not being directed, he's lost.
Yeah.
Thor met up with Rocket. They had a bond. Rabbit, come on, Rabbit.
Yep.
And Rocket clearly loves the dude. He gave him a fucking
Loves him.
eye, right? Now Thor is with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
And Thor is taking charge again. So it's like they need...
He needs friends.
They need to not feed off people, but they need that energy. They need to be
a member of something.
Something to feel important, to provide. Yes. Yes. And I think that's really cool, too. Because like you said, man, Thor keeps losing his way. You said that last night, and I'm like,
yeah.
You're fucking right, man. The dude is a mess.
Especially with Loki being gone, like he needed Loki to focus
balance
on
himself almost.
Yep.
Which you wouldn't have thought. You wouldn't have thought that way, but exactly. So I'm kind of hoping maybe if he stays as Fat Thor, but if not, but you know my thoughts on Guardians 3. This is my thought.
Oh yeah.
The quest for Gamora.
Yep.
Yeah, because she wasn't in the end scene with the other Guardians and,
Star-Lord
all that.
is like.
Everybody's
looking off at like the Tony sunset.
Yep.
And Star-Lord is looking down at like the Gamora, like that's where she landed and died.
I thought that was a really funny part where she was like, "This is him," and he's like, "It was either him or a tree,
right,
or
right,
a raccoon or a tree."
Right. It's like,
this is the one.
And you knew that was gonna happen. You knew she was gonna slap him or something.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 kicks to the nuts or knees.
Yeah, that was. I don't know if that was right. Like, that feels too childish.
Oh.
Almost to like...
I thought it was funny, because he's like,
one
missed and one got me.
It is funny. The delivery and all of it was funny, but sometimes jokes have a misplaced...
But it does go back to the way she originally was around him. You know what I mean?
No,
like
it does.
Being a bitch to him.
It does.
And,
I get that, but I'm just saying, at that such a climactic ending, I feel like I wasn't ready for a funny right then.
But they wanted to get that Guardians feel to it.
They absolutely
you know what
did.
I mean?
They absolutely did. But I definitely laughed. I can't say I didn't.
Right.
It just, like,
out of place.
In Guardians 2, I laughed at this joke out loud. You were there when Drax goes, "Do you have a penis?" Or whatever he says. And Gamora's like, "Drax, come on." And he goes, "Well, yes, I do." Like, yes, that's funny as fuck, man, because that's a conversation piece I would say to somebody and respond like that. But it was like, that's kind of placed in a weird spot right now.
Yeah.
Because he's going through a serious moment of explaining who he is, what he is, and then, "Do you have a penis?" It's like, subtlety is not your forte there, Drax. So, but I mean, I love the movie.
Time for you to be invisible, Drax.
Right, exactly. Exactly. But I did love the movie. There's definitely flaws in it, but I loved it. Biggest flaw you and I are trying to figure out still, maybe you've seen it twice, you can help us. Thor's hammer. Did Captain...
He's on Asgard.
Yes. When Fat Thor is on Asgard, so now present day Thor. We'll call the ones in the quantum realm suits present day Avengers. When present day Thor is in Dark World 2014 talking to his mother, and he does this, and he gets his hammer back, he is clearly stealing the 2014 version of Thor's hammer, who God knows at that point he needs it, because his mom's about to die, Asgard's about to get attacked.
Mm-hmm.
So he just stole that hammer, right? Goes back to present day. Captain America gets the hammer.
Yeah.
Oh! Then all the way up to the end of the movie, you believe Captain America still had Thor's hammer. Does he bring it back in time with him when he goes to bring the stones back? Did you notice if he had the hammer?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He had it in the one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Because we were like...
So he gives it back to Thor.
Right. Because we were thinking, wow, if that doesn't fuck up the timeline...
Yep.
Everybody would die in that movie if Thor
Thor's
didn't have
losing.
that fucking hammer then.
Yep. I thought that was a great interaction
So that
too
was
with Hulk and the Ancient One. I thought that was
Oh,
cool.
yeah, that was
That
cool.
was
I thought
cool.
that
That
was
was
a really
sweet.
cool scene.
But my absolute least favorite part, Mark, what was it?
The Hulk.
Yep.
Professor Hulk.
Yep. I had no interest in him. Zero. As soon as they showed him in the diner and he did the dab,
I thought that whole
Oh,
scene was
man.
fucking awkward as fuck.
I looked right at Jay and I said, I can't do this. I looked right at him and I said, I can't take this. I can't do this scene. I can't do him
I
as
thought
this.
the Ant-Man and the kids was funny.
Oh, yeah.
That
Like, do you want my
was funny.
picture? No, it's okay. Fuck it. Don't take the goddamn camera.
It's the Ant-Man, really.
Right, come on.
That was...
I don't like that Hulk, though.
Yeah, he's too weird looking.
It's weird looking. It's cheap. It's a cop-out to me. Because, one, he didn't do anything.
No.
All he did was the snap, dude. He didn't fight once in that movie. And what dude, this is Endgame. You need to have Hulk and Thanos have a rematch.
Yeah.
Right? No, he was so disappointing. I didn't care for him. I really did not care for this version of the Hulk. I want the conflicted Bruce Banner.
Yeah, I thought that's where they were going to go with it because it was such a
and
part of
let him be
Infinity
in
War.
control. Let Banner be like, Hulk want to come out now or something, and Banner be like, all right.
Yep.
And then while you're the Hulk, still talk as him like you did in Ragnarok.
Yep.
I don't like Professor Hulk. He's okay. In
It
the
was
comics,
off-putting with the look and the way he was. It was kind of off-putting.
It
to
just
me,
didn't
like,
feel
weird.
right. He was my absolute least favorite moment in the whole movie. I mean, I'm not gonna say his scenes were.
No, they were.
I hated him.
The taco scene was funny.
Oh yeah, the taco scene was beautiful.
Yeah.
Giving those 2 tacos to Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yup. Because that's when Civil War came out, I think. There was a Dr. Pepper commercial. And it had Ant-Man and the Hulk in it. Remember it?
Yeah, I remember it.
It was never in a movie. You never got to see...
Coca-Cola or something.
One of the sodas. You never got to see that in a movie, though. It was like...
No.
Could you imagine the Hulk and Ant-Man together? Like, how would they interact? Like, the world's smallest and the world's biggest. And to see the Hulk give Ant-Man tacos. It's like, that's
so
how
cool.
they'd interact.
And how small they were in his hands and how big it was in Ant-Man's
Right, it's like,
hands.
I could just
Yes.
take one of these.
Yep.
I loved it. I loved all of that. Ant-Man was my favorite part.
Gosh.
I agree with you.
He was great. He was so good.
I'll say it, I've said it all weekend. This was Paul Rudd's greatest performance in any movie ever.
He had such a great range in that movie. It was amazing.
He wasn't the funny guy. I mean, he was,
Yeah.
but he
very
wasn't
subtly,
relied on to be
yeah.
the funny guy like he was in Civil War.
Yep.
They didn't want him to be serious in Civil War, even when he grew big. Like, I'm about to rip myself a new one or something like that. Like, in this, I didn't see it coming. I mean, I should have. But I didn't see it coming, him growing into Giant Man when he did.
No.
And there was no funny fucking punchline.
Nope.
It was, fuck this.
That's it.
I mean,
And then he just punched one of those flying fucking...
Did you
Yeah,
see, since you've seen it twice, I told him, I saw it the first time, in one of the scenes, it's the camera's panning and just showing you the giant battle. Ant-Man has one of these worms on his shoulder, and he's shoving it through a portal.
Yeah.
I
I saw that.
Yes, it's just so cool
Yep.
looking. That's in the background.
Speaking of the battle, there's one thing I wanted to talk about before I forget.
Mhm.
When Thor has Stormbreaker up against Thanos and Cap is behind Thanos, I thought Cap is going to pull Stormbreaker into Thanos and sacrifice himself to kill
Whoa.
Thanos. I thought, because I figured Cap was going to die
The
in this.
whole time I did, dude.
I figured he's going to use his strength to pull it through and sacrifice himself to kill Thanos.
To kill Thanos, right.
That was the one thing. Just before I forget that.
No.
Wow.
Right.
That was-
Everything that I keep bringing up is shit I've wanted to talk about, or we've talked about it last night, so it's very fresh.
How about Avengers Assemble?
Yeah,
That was really cool.
Finally, for the first time in 22 movies, you got to hear him say it. And just like you and
That
I said
was
last
amazing.
night, we thought it was going to be Avengers Assemble!
Yeah.
But it was so much more powerful than that. Like, Avengers assemble.
Because he really needed
We
that.
fucking need to do this.
And he was hurting so bad, too. It had a lot of weight to it.
What a beautiful way to bring all the heroes back. To have the last time you heard Bucky speak was Steve, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
Now the first time you hear him again, Steve, like, that's you? And then the portal opens up, and my fucking dude, the one I got goosebumps for out of all the portals open up, the one that gave me the biggest goosebumps was Falcon.
Yeah.
I love Falcon.
On your left.
On your left. I was like, yeah, buddy.
And they made him badass with using the wings to kill the one thing and stuff.
Yeah,
that was really
man.
cool.
Oh, it was sick. Falcon is so badass. The only problem I do have is I don't want to see him as Captain America.
No.
Nope. He's too good as Falcon. Give it to Bucky. Give it to Buck.
Okay.
Give it to the Buck.
I agree with. I accept that.
That's a problem I had. But I'm okay with it because I don't know where they're going to go. And I'm not one of these people that say, they fucking ruined it! Because I don't know.
Right.
Captain Marvel? What a punk-ass
God.
fucking bitch! I'm raving all day how much I loved how little she did in this movie.
when she first started fighting Thanos, I was like, no, there's no fucking way she's going to be the one to kill Thanos.
Dude, everyone in the theater, you could feel it. When she came in and he headbutted her, you could feel the fucking...
I jumped out of my fucking chair.
You could feel the anger in the audience, the heat come across everybody like, no. And then when he grabbed that
I was
power...
fucking happy. I was happy when he headbutted her. I thought that was great.
She didn't do anything. It didn't move her. That was so fucking stupid. Like, I hate it. I hate her character.
It was... All
She's
it was
so
was,
lame.
okay, I'm more I can take a headbutt.
But as soon as he grabbed that power stone, he was like, yeah, fuck you though, bitch.
Yeah.
And slammed her. Dude, that crowd roared. That crowd hated her.
Yeah.
Like, they hate... And I don't hate Brie Larson.
No.
This character is boring as fuck.
Yep.
As fuck.
And also with it being so quickly, introduced before this movie, I think it turned off a lot of people as well.
It did. It turned off a lot. I was okay with it because I wasn't sure where it was going. I saw Captain Marvel. We did the review. I was not partial. I said what I wanted to say. She was boring in that.
Yeah.
The movie was awesome. She was boring. Her personality didn't...
She's got no emotion.
Right. And even in this, like, when she smiles, it's like, it's fake. You're just fake smiling at these people.
Like
I don't
was when
feel
she got
it.
headbutted.
Yeah. But I was so happy she wasn't in it that much. I really was. And I think that was a fan service that they did. It was like, we need to maybe pull her back a bit because people might...
I bet you they had her in a lot more of that.
Oh, probably.
Sure.
There was a scene, I didn't see it, but it was supposedly leaked, of Tony Stark and Thor going on like some adventure together. It's like,
whoa,
I would like to see this.
Yep.
Give me this. But I feel like there was something else I want to say about Captain Marvel. Oh, she's so hot though. She's so hot.
I find her hot, and then like a few minutes go by, and I don't know now. I'm flip flop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find her very hot. I don't know. I think the blonde thing. I like blondes.
I love blondes.
Yeah. There's a lot more we're going to talk about in this podcast. How long have we been going?
46 minutes.
Okay. We can do good. What else specifically jumps out that you guys specifically want to talk about?
Elevator scene?
Yeah, dude, that was sweet.
Elevator scene?
That was totally sweet. I was so ready for the Winter Soldier Part 2 moment of like, I got a question. Anybody in here want to get out before we get started? I'm like, I'm sitting in my seat like, Cap is experienced now, and he will fuck your days up.
Yep.
Like, for real hard.
Yep.
And then he leans down to sit well, and he's like, Hail Hydra. I was like, yo, look at you fucking Nazi. You know how to get past this fucking level, don't you?
That was a great scene.
It was so cool.
That was.
But we're going to talk about it, how it's not in that movie. That scene was never in Avengers.
No.
We talked about this last night. The setup of what we're talking about is they go back in time to 2012 to the first Avengers movie. They show the battle. The battle happens. Now, what is going on is the 2012 Avengers, Tony Stark, and I don't know who else was with him. I don't remember specifically. Thor, maybe? Thor.
Yeah.
Thor and Tony Stark and Loki, they had Loki as a prisoner, were walking through the bottom floor of Avengers Tower. I'm assuming that's what that was, the bottom floor of that. With the scepter. Was that the scene?
Oh.
No.
What? No.
No, it wasn't. He did go back to the Winter Soldier scene, didn't he?
When he's fighting...
The second Cap. That is during Winter Soldier, isn't it?
It has to be.
It
was
has
that
to be.
hallway. It was that
I don't think
glass.
I put that together till right now saying it out loud that way. Because they had the Tesseract. He was going after the Scepter. Was that in 2014 as well? When Cap is on the elevator getting ready to fight, how does that set up? Does he go back to... Is he at the Triskelion?
Fuck, I don't even remember.
I really don't remember. Because how I'm envisioning it is right now, and I'm going to be wrong, but this is how I'm picturing it. They were all there at the Avengers Tower. Alexander Pierce was there to retrieve Loki as a prisoner and to get the Tesseract and whatever the fuck else was there.
Yep.
The Tesseract and the Scepter, they were both there, right?
Yeah.
Because all 3 stones. Tesseract, Scepter. Okay, so yeah, I am right then. So then they're there at the bottom of Avengers Tower. Alexander Pierce with Rumlow, Crossbones, and the Hydra /agent or Shield agents and Sitwell are there to retrieve the Scepter.
Yes.
Captain America comes in contact with Captain America. They fight each other. You see the ass of America. Which, again, that was a joke that I thought was a little like, come on. But I love it because it's like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to roll with this stupid shit.
Yeah.
But you see Cap fight Cap. Then the next scene is Cap getting in the elevator with all of those guys because they have the Tesseract. Or the Scepter, whatever. The Scepter.
The Scepter, because they have it in the long briefcase.
So I am right then. That is, they're trying, I guess, okay, this is what I wanted to say. That scene when he's in the elevator with all those guys was originally in the Winter Soldier. They're duplicating that scene again and saying it was in the first Avengers movie. Yeah. That kind of bothers me.
Right.
Because that seems cheap. It's a cool scene to see again and see it differently.
It is a great scene, though.
Because, yeah, there was never a Infinity Stone in Winter Soldier.
No.
Never once in that movie. So all those Shield agents / Hydra agents were there to collect all the damage, get Loki as a prisoner, probably did test on him and shit, get the Tesseract, get the Scepter. So that bothers me that scene is being duplicated to be said it was also in another movie. Because it just seems cheap. Because it literally was shot for shot. Even the dude behind Captain America was the same guy in Winter Soldier. The bald fucking Prince Albert looking dude.
Yeah.
Same actor. So it's like, it just seems cheap. And me being like a purist at this shit, I picked that apart.
I didn't know that at the time. I just enjoyed the elevator scene again.
Oh no, I didn't know it at the time either until I was thinking about it.
And then you get to pick shit apart and
that's why
Monday morning quarterbacking and shit.
Well, that's why I wanted to go see it again last night because it's like, okay, maybe the questions I have will be answered a little bit more. So I'm sorry if I'm all over the place with this because I'm not 100% sure.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like we can't talk about it again at some point.
Other than that scene though, showing you said it or whoever said it, Hulk with the Ancient One, that was a very cool scene.
Yeah.
Because you got to see, okay, the Sanctum Sanctorum has always been here.
Oh, yeah.
There has always been a Doctor Strange. You gave me a good timeline. You now told me when he comes into play. Because I'm thinking, well, shit, you guys made it seem like his movie, like he was around during the first Avengers movie. Like, where the fuck was he then? But they still don't answer the question of where the fuck, why the fuck, and why didn't they mention Captain Marvel during the first Avengers movie? Why didn't Nick Fury ever tell any of them, oh, I've dealt with people like you guys before. He talks to them like, this is the first time we've ever dealt with anything like you.
But, like 20 years ago, I dealt with somebody
that's
more powerful than you.
Shapeshifters, someone that can shoot plasma beams out of their hands, and aliens from outer space. I've been there, done that. You guys are nothing new.
Yep.
He should have already been like that. But obviously they didn't know. But even then, you could have rewritten the story a little bit better. Up to this, like, after that point, I guess. I don't know.
I like the interaction with Scarlet Witch and Thanos. I thought that thought that was really cool. Yep. A good way to do that.
I did too. And good segue, because I mentioned Scarlet Witch to you last night. Something I didn't think about till I saw somebody else comment on Facebook about it. There's a scene at the end during all that where Shuri and Scarlet Witch are talking. I saw it, don't think nothing of it. Somebody goes, I think that's them trying to figure out a way to bring Vision back.
Yeah.
Because in the comics, Vision is made of vibranium. And it's like, wouldn't that be something? Maybe she could use her powers to create I don't know.
Would they need that Mind Stone?
See, I don't know, because I know in the comics he's also a character without that stone. But I don't know any more than that. I only know my comic knowledge begins and mostly ends with mid to late 1990s, early 2000s, mid 2000s stuff. So maybe like a decade of comics. But there's fucking 50 decades of them. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's like... I don't know all of it. I only know what I know, and I know a lot, but not that kind of shit. Like...
I thought the interaction with Tony Stark and his father was really good.
I loved it. I said that. Yeah, I loved that. I thought that was cool. It was awkward for his dad. He's like, "You're hugging me. How are you?" And it was cool.
I think it was a great way to break up the story a little bit too. Not and
right.
give you a little levity and
right because there was so much story and never once did it feel like it was dragging.
No. It was pedal to the metal the whole time, I thought.
Big thing we got to talk about. We talked this last night, but Black Widow. Not only did we there were 6 original Avengers. Mm-hmm. Hawkeye, Black Widow, Cap, Iron Man, Thor, and Hulk. We lost Black Widow, Cap, and Tony Stark. Those 3 are gone for good. Yep. Like 2 of them are dead, gone. Cap, his story is over. I mean, he could be a supporting character somewhere down the line, like old man that shows up to
maybe a cameo,
not to save the day, but listen, son, I know it's hard.
Pep talk,
right? Like a Nick Fury guy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Other than that, his story's done.
Yep.
I don't want it to continue. I don't want him to come back and be like, "There's a chance I could be young again." No. If you're gonna do something different, you're gonna do an alternate timeline, which I'll get into that a little bit, but an alternate timeline where you do him as a Hydra agent or something where it's different. It's not just rehashing it. It's different. But Black Widow, that was sad. Like you said, going into that moment, you knew someone was going to die there.
Oh yeah.
And once they got into it, I thought it was going to be her because they wanted to go with Hawkeye, but
no, I really thought it was Hawkeye even still because it just felt like, okay, this is really a swan song for him. You've seen him. Really, you saw him you didn't know who he was in the beginning. You saw him as a family man in the middle, and you started to feel for the guy and be like, okay, he's more than just what the internet makes fun of, the bow and arrow. Like, he's just a bow and arrow. He's more than that. He is a huge backbone to them. Like his wife says, I'm not afraid of you needing them. I'm afraid of them needing you.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. She says that to him, and I've always thought that was like, that's powerful to hear for a guy that has no powers amongst these gods. Yep. Like, that's awesome to me.
I thought he looked badass as Ronin, too. I thought
that's one of the minifigs I bought was him as Ronin.
Yeah.
Like, I want a whole movie of him, like Ronin.
Or a show.
Yeah.
Or something.
I'd be okay with it.
Well, I mean, you've got 5 years of, him being able to do it, so yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
I definitely want to see that.
Him going to Japan and learning how to sword fight.
I want to see him mix it up with like Blade, because Blade was Ronin at one point in a comic, and I think, not saying they have to cross over, but I just think that'd be badass.
Yeah.
Let Hawkeye go on an adventure with like, whoa, dude, he just teamed up with Blade. Like, he's the only Avenger to team up with Blade. Like, how cool would that be? A dude with a fucking bow and arrow and a dude with a sword chopping down fucking, what do they fight? Oh my god, vampires.
And with there being less humans around, there's a chance for more vampires to be around.
Right.
And shit, so.
Yeah.
And it sounds so stupid saying vampires out loud, but in a comic book movie.
We're talking about superheroes. So,
Jared Leto, who was the worst Joker ever, is playing Michael Morbius, who is the living vampire from the Spider-Man comics in a movie. So we're going to have vampires somewhere. There's so much. We are going to talk about Endgame again probably at some point.
Once it comes out on DVD and we start watching it again and shit. And
pausing it.
But we'll kind of wrap it up now.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you guys your thoughts, or 2 questions.
This is your show, so go ahead.
What was your favorite moment in the entire movie? Don't answer it right fucking now. And I know you guys don't know as much future-wise, but where do you want to see something go? Future-wise, of like, I know the X-Men and Fantastic Four are coming, so don't just say that.
Right.
But say, and obviously I'm not expecting you to say, well, I'm expecting Magneto to come in and turn everybody into this that happened in issue 74. But like, what would you like to see future-wise come down the line of, I guess?
So favorite moment first?
Mark first, yes. Markadius.
Favorite moment would probably be the Cap getting the hammer.
Yep.
And finally being worthy. Like, I knew it all along. You were worthy. Like
I
like
knew
Thor
it!
says.
Yep.
Sorry if I stole yours, Dave.
Nope.
That's mine. That's my favorite moment.
And the future, I don't know. I mean, it's in good hands with, directors and Disney and all
Well,
that.
let me kind of narrow the question down a little bit more so it's not so broad.
Okay.
Knowing what you know right now, who do you want? This will be the new question. Who do you want your next crop of Avengers to be?
Oh, man. I guess,
Realistically, knowing what you know now, not just saying, well, I'd like to see Iron Man, not a make-believe, but, going forward knowing. Your Iron Man is fucking dead. He's fucking dead.
I guess Captain Marvel is going to be the leader. We don't have a choice. Yeah.
Boo! Boo! No, it's alright. It's kind of a hard question. I don't know.
But I want Black Panther to be, the best. He's awesome to me.
Yeah. I
want him to be involved.
I think the team...
Heavily.
I really think the team is going to be Spider-Man, Black Widow, War Machine, Captain Marvel, and Hulk.
Yeah?
Yep. I think that'll be... that's going to be, your 5.
Wow.
I really do. Not for the next 10 years, but for maybe, the next Avenger...
And they'll cycle people in and out, and, yeah.
So you think the Hulk will get better?
Character-wise, I hope so. Physically, probably. Dave, your favorite part?
My favorite moment would be when Cap hears the voice in his ear, and you realize that everybody's coming back. You didn't know how, but you knew that they were coming back. That was my favorite moment.
Okay.
Good one.
Yep. I'm going to change your second question up. Because you pretty much agreed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of all those returns, all that moment, what was your favorite, return moment? Which one was yes? I'm so happy you're back. How I was with Falcon.
I would say Scarlet Witch.
Yeah?
Because of the emotion with Vision and all that, and the tie to Thanos.
Right.
I thought that was the best return.
And I asked you that question because that story I wanted to say. I told you this earlier or last night, whatever. The little kid in the theater.
Yeah.
When we were sitting there, everybody was in this movie the same emotional feeling. Nobody was being obnoxious.
Right.
Everybody
I had a little kid in the second one that I was at.
Yeah, there was
the second showing.
Tons of little kids, tons of them. But they were all good.
Yeah.
When Black Panther's portal opened up and he came walking out, this little kid goes, "They're alive, everyone!" And dude, literally, everybody was like, "Yes, woo!" It was one of those moments where it's that would have pissed me off any other day of the week.
Yep.
Yeah.
But because of this movie, that kid's timing, the emotion of what happened, you fucking rock, little kid.
You got
you live forever when I think about this.
And
movie
that's a
now.
kid that's seen the other movie and knows what the fuck is going on too.
Yeah.
You know what I
He
mean?
sounded like a little fat kid because his voice just sounded
Love it.
Eat the back, everybody. It was
like the fat Mexican kid in South Park, or in Family Guy.
Little chulo. Can I say chulo? What does that mean?
I don't know.
La 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 la.
You're offensive anyway, so you might as well bring it all in. Just saying.
Oh.
I mean, we can talk about Wakanda zoos if you want, but...
Hey, nagger guy! I guess, my favorite part definitely is when Cap gets the hammer.
Yeah.
I punched James in the arm 3 times. I was so excited. For that.
Blew my mind.
When that hammer was floating around, I'm like, who's got that? Didn't think Cap. Thought maybe Thor had something up his fat sleeve. I don't know. And then all of a sudden you see Cap with the shield catch the hammer. Ching! I'm like, I fucking hate it.
And then when he started spinning it around and shit, it's just like, hell yeah.
He's used it before.
I just don't understand how he conducted the electricity because he's not a god. But I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide because it was.
Or maybe just because he was so worthy, he was able to do that kind of stuff.
It just got the power of God. Yeah, I don't know. I'll go with it because it was so sick. And he didn't stop fighting with it. He fought the rest of the fight with it.
Did.
And then with Thor wanting Stormbreaker, no, you take the little one.
Yes.
That was great.
Yes.
Well, yeah, even if you were fucking normal size, this axe is too big. I want them to make a fat Thor Funko so bad.
I'm sure they will. They make it of every other
Cap
character.
with the hammer and the shield.
Oh, I want that. That better be
out? Yeah.
No, probably not. Yeah.
That might be an exclusive, like a con.
Right. That would have probably.
That
probably would have been a huge spoiler putting that out.
Yep.
Well, Endgame. Dave, what do you give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I give it a 10, man.
10.
I gotta say a 10.
Mark, what do you give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I give it a 10.
All right. Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 3,000.
Oh, wow.
You love it 3,000?
I love it 3,000 so much. And we are going to... Actually, I didn't say... I wanted to kind of go into real quick where I think it might go real fast.
Okay, yeah.
I told you the time travel shit's going to play a huge thing.
Yes.
There is a villain in the comics. His name is Kang the Conqueror. He is a time travel son of a bitch. He is in the year 3000, which I think is not a coincidence for Tony Stark to say, I love you 3000. Because, think of it, in their timeline right now is 2023. Or 2024, whatever.
Yeah.
In 70 more years, it's going to be the year 3000. Those Avengers kids will be old adults with new Avengers kids. They will all come in contact with Kang the Conqueror at one point. So future Kang the Conqueror has already dealt with the Avengers and their children. He now knows they're dealing with time travel because he's like the time travel police. He is aware of this shit. They have messed with time in these movies. I don't care what anybody says. There's something that they fucked up somewhere that is going to be a time apparition that's going to play a part in these movies. You can now introduce the Fantastic Four because Kang the Conqueror is directly connected to Reed Richards. It is his great-great-great-grandson or grandnephew, one of the two, in the year 3000. I think Kang the Conqueror is going to be our next big villain. I think time and time travel is going to have some sort of relevance. There's going to be repercussions for what you've done. There's going to be a butterfly effect somewhere, what you have just done. Because you knocked out Star-Lord in a 2014 universe who never got the Power Stone. What's he going to go do now? Where does he go? Does he ever meet the Guardians now? Because that Power Stone is what brought him to meet the Guardians.
Well, but Cap put all the stones back, so...
That's true.
Did he use the time stone?
That's true. That is true, I guess. But me overthinking it,
right?
You could say it was a skew.
Yeah.
Without being too deliberate of changing something.
Give the Back to the Future premise, you know what I mean? You're changing timelines,
You put the pen this way instead of that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something like that.
It wasn't a major change, but it was small enough to change something.
To have changed the future to where maybe Hawkeye's not wearing purple, he's wearing gold. It sounds so stupid, but yet it's so... It could be significant.
Anything can happen when you...
In this way, now, you can use Kang the Conqueror, who deals in time travel. You can go to the quantum realm if you want and go back into the science aspect of it, or you can just have pure, open up a portal, time travel. Alternate universes. Now you can get away with saying, where have the X-Men been for the last 11 years? Well, there was an alternate universe where mutants exist, but the Avengers never did.
Yeah.
There's an alternate universe where the Fantastic Four existed, the X-Men and the Avengers never did. So I think I can't wait. I can't wait for that. I think that's going to be so radical. So radical once they start doing that crap.
And you know they're going to go balls to the wall with this because they know no matter what they do, it's going to make money.
Mm-hmm.
In its first opening weekend, $102 billion.
Yep. Worldwide.
Movies do that and some movies do that in a lifetime.
And it's not like the Star Wars where they did the side, story and it didn't do as well as they expected.
Yeah.
If they do side stories, these movies are going to fucking do well.
I'm going to get the streaming service. I want that so bad. Dude, they're going to put a special show on there that specifically deals with the aftermath of Endgame. Yeah. It's not going to be the Bucky and Falcon show. It's not those ones. It's a specific Endgame aftermath.
I didn't hear about that. That's awesome.
I just saw that the other day on Facebook. Awesome. I'm like, that. Oh, come on. I want to live in that world so bad. I am so invested in this crap.
We all are.
Look at that wall. There's Cap Shield. There's Mjolnir. There's the hammer. There's all of it. I love it.
And even Wolverine claws. So.
Wolverine claws I got for free. I was so happy about those. The guy asks me, what are you going to do with these? My response was, well, I'm going to put on a yellow and blue suit, and I'm going to go around and avenge the neighborhood from evil mutants. You know, I'm going to be Wolverine. I'm going to be Wolverine. The guy was like, oh, man, I hope they're, ready for a fight. And I'm like, don't encourage me. Jesus.
I'm going to be meeting Sabretooth in a little while.
Right, here I am sewing my suit together. Well, when I met the Comic-Con real quick, the Montreal X-Men were there.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they're garbage. I saw Professor Xavier walking around.
You broke character.
Come on, stay in fucking character the whole time, you piece of shit motherfucker. The only one that's from Canada is Wolverine. The rest of them are American and pieces of shit. I don't care. But I saw them outside and they were eating, so I stopped. And I said, what are you guys doing on a lunch break? And they go, well, we get a lunch break too, And I go, Sabretooth is in there right now killing people. And they go, there's 2 Sabretooths. I go, even worse, dude. And
Which one?
He goes, I go, but then I kind of broke out of it. I go, what do you mean there's 2 Sabretooths? So I go, like, Liev Schreiber's in there? And he goes, no, we have a Sabretooth too. I go,
the Canadian one?
Yeah. I go, yeah, Tyler Maine's in there. I can't wait to meet him. And then I just walked away. Gemma was with me the whole time, and she just looks at me and she goes, Dad, you are the greatest dad in the whole world, Dad.
I don't think that happened.
Did it happen?
No. I mean,
the
whole story up to Gemma telling me that really happened.
Oh, dang.
No, that really, really happened.
That's funny.
I really said that to the guys, because the Professor Xavier was walking around with a sandwich in his hands. He jumped up on the little stoop and was sitting there, and then Wolverine, all bloated in his fucking suit, was eating a sandwich. It would have been hilarious if he had it kebabbed on his claws.
Oh, yeah.
And just, what's up, Bob? Oh, what's up, Bob? The thing that bothered me, though, there was a homeless man outside, and he would not stop talking to people.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm not...
There was a few when I left. There was like one playing guitar, and there was...
Yeah, he's standing there, and he's calling me, trying to call me over. He's like, you ever heard of the video game this or this? I'm like, nope, I don't play video games, bud. He just kept walking. I mean, it's like...
Wow.
That's a huge problem in Saratoga. They're
shoot him.
everywhere.
Shoot him. Shoot him. Can you do that? Is that a thing?
Because I worked at the Stewart's in Saratoga, and the homeless guys
They're
were
always
everywhere.
in the mall, too, like
Yep.
in the medium there.
Yep.
You can't shoot him, though.
You can't. Well, I mean, you can, but you can't get away with it.
There you go, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
murder.
That's our send-off on the Comic Wrestling Podcast. I'm Ace Williams. This is Deadly Dave, and joining us today was Markadius. You can shoot homeless people. We don't endorse that. That was just a message Dave said.
At your own risk.
At your own risk. Join us again, and thanks for joining us now.
We're in the Endgame.